My number 9 wide receiver in the 2021 NFL draft is Rondale Moore. And he's another beggar, okay? Another one of these dudes that's a blink of an eye guy. He can straight up fly. All right, and so these are the kind of guys that you just want to get the rock to. And he's one of those guys that isn't a true wide receiver. He's just a dude that you just get the ball to. Find a way. I don't really give a shit. Just find a way to get him the football and let him operate. And I see a lot of that in Kadarius Toney, but Kadarius Toney showed us in 2020, hey, I could actually play a little bit of receiver too. We didn't get that from Rondale Moore. We got flashes of that in 2018. It's now 2021. Like, we didn't ever get the follow-up to what was an impressive debut. I equate it to a debut album. Somebody comes out in the debut, and when is someone's debut album that's nice? When is their debut album not fire? Okay? You usually worry about them after that debut album because you've had your entire life to work on that first project. So we know it's going to be fire. It's going to be like 7, 8 straight bangers on that debut album that you just put it on and you don't have to skip any tracks. You just let it bang. But that second album, you're like, all right, man, I only like 3 songs off of this. That was Rondale Moore. That debut album, it's 15 tracks, it's no skits, and you just let it play. That next album, it was only like 1 song that you really rocked with. You got. I call it the Lil Flip album. You know, remember Lil Flip? Flip. He got me. Off of that 1 song, I bought the album. That was the only song I liked on the whole album. I got. That's what 2019 looked like. That's what 2020 looked like for Rondale Moore. I got a problem with that. But if he's at his best, this guy could be a huge difference maker. Let's flip his card over and take a look. So, speed and acceleration. Speed, again, he's one of those beggars. I call them beg guys. Blink of an eye guy, okay? He can go much faster than slow. 4.29 40, 42.5-inch vert. The guy is explosive and twitchy, okay? So he can move. That's not a question. Quickness and agility. He's got the quicks. He's got the speed. Again, if you really want to see the best of Rondale Moore, go back to 2018. The game that put him on everybody's radar in his freshman year was against Ohio State, and he tore them a new asshole. If that's the Rondale Moore you're getting, we got a conversation to have, okay? We're going to get into that a little bit later on, by the way. But he can win underneath with agility and quickness and things of that nature. And because he's got so much speed, he can scare you vertically. So you got to back up and you got to give him space. Run after catch and make you miss. Those two things are synonymous with one another a lot of times. But in a crazy twist of fate, this draft season, most of these dudes that are fast don't have any wiggle. They don't have the make you miss. It's only a select handful of these dudes. Jalen Waddle, Kadarius Toney, and Rondale Moore. Everybody else is pretty stiff. They ain't looking to make you miss. They looking to outrun your damn angle. He can actually make you miss. Stick his foot in the ground and really dead leg the shit out of you. I mean, just absolutely shake you down. You know what it is. It's Rondale, bitches. You know what it is. So he can definitely make you miss and embarrass you out in space. I mean, you could literally be a yard from him and not lay a finger on him. Contact balance. I love the small guys that have that thick kind of frame. And I'm not saying that he's got a thick frame. He's 5'7", okay? It's 5'7", 175. There's nothing thick about his frame at all. But those shorter guys with that low center of gravity, they tend to have this ability that it's hard to knock them off their feet if you don't wrap them up. If you just come with a reckless, abandoned shoulder like, yeah, you a small dude, I'm about to knock you down, they'll just pinball off of you. Rondale Moore has a little bit of that in him. A little bit of that ability to take contact, stay on his feet, and continue to run. Playmaking ability. Again, everything that I talk about with his strengths, you saw it in 2018. You did not see a ton of that thereafter. You didn't see a bunch of that in 19. You damn sure didn't see any of it in 2020. Okay? So, we know it's there, but I didn't see enough of it. I'm not comfortable with taking a guy and projecting him out from 2 years ago, what he did 3 years ago. I'm not comfortable doing that. Show me. But he's got playmaking ability. We know that to be a fact. We just didn't see enough of it. The consistency is what he's lacking. Separation creator. When you run a 4.29 and you have the quicks that this guy has, again, you're going to get open. You're going to get open. So he's a separation creator. Mismatch maker. I got to give Purdue credit, especially back in 2018. They moved this guy around every which way you could move a player. X, Z, slot, backfield, wing, running back. You name it, he did it. Motion, short motion, all the way across the field, jet sweep, shovel pass. Any way they could get it to him, they got it to him. And he was effective in every single role they asked him to play. So you can create mismatches with this guy. Get him on a linebacker, oh man, it's over. Saw a lot of that in 2018. Get him on a linebacker, get him on a safety. He runs a sluggo, that guy's dead. He's dead. He's in quicksand. It's over. Formational flex and versatility. I've talked about the difference between the two. Formational flex means I can put you at any of the 3 wide receiver positions, X, Z, slot, and you're fine. You can thrive. Versatility is I can play you anywhere, wide receiver, running back, jet sweeps. I can put you in the backfield, toss it to you. I can line you up as a tight end, as a H-back, a wing, send you in motion, and come across the formation. I can do so many different things with you because you have versatility. You can have formational flexibility, formation flex, and I can't hand you the ball on a jet sweep because that's not who you are as a football player. You don't thrive in that environment. But I can line you up at X, Z, or slot, and you're comfortable. So there's a difference between the two. He's got both. Special teams value. Here's a guy, never returned a punt or a kickoff for a touchdown in his career, but he's dangerous. You know, at any point, he could hurt you. He could break one for a score. And 2018 production is his final strength. Look, this is what he's hanging his hat on. Honestly speaking, after his last 2 seasons, he probably should have took his ass back to school. I never tell guys that they should or shouldn't come out. He's banking on the fact that you watch the 2018 tape and you know what he's capable of, and that's what he's going to have to convince everybody that he's going to give you at the next level. Ignore 19 and 20. They were injury marred seasons. One was COVID and injury marred, and the other was just straight up injury related. Just focus on 18. That's what you're going to get at the next level. Okay. If that's the case, in 2018, he played in 13 games, 114 catches, 1,258 yards, and 12 touchdowns to go along with 21 rushes for 213 yards and 2 more scores. Okay? The guy was ridiculous in 2018. That was 2018. That was eons ago. Okay? Let's go to his weaknesses. Size. Look, I love his game and the things he brings to the table. He's 5'7", a buck 75. No getting around that. Drops. I can love you all I want. You can have all the speed, all the acceleration, all the quickness. None of that shit matters if you don't catch the football. Too many drops for my liking on tape. I know he can catch the football, but I also know he can drop it too at any time. At any given time, he can drop the football. Wide ass open. So that's an issue for me. Injury history and durability. That should probably be the biggest thing that you should be concerned with Rondale Moore. If not the production and what he projects to at the next level. Is his injury history and his durability. And the two are kind of tied. That he hasn't had the production in college because he's been injured and he hasn't been durable. A wise man once told me the best ability is availability. He hasn't been available. In 2019, he missed 8 games due to a hamstring injury. So he only played in 4 games in 2019. So when we were looking for that encore and that follow-up to that crazy 2018 introduction to the college football landscape, the man gave us 4 games because of a hamstring injury. He missed 8. Only had 29. After having 114 catches, he had 29 catches for 387 yards and only 2 touchdowns in 4 games. He follows that up with 2020, I should say. Look, this was a weird year for a lot of people. At first, Rondale Moore was going to opt out. Then he, at the last minute, decided, man, I want to play. Then he had a lower leg injury to start the season, so he missed the first 3 games of the season. He played 3 games, and then he says, you know what, I'm going to shut this shit down before I really hurt myself. So he plays in 3 games, 35 receiving receptions, 270 yards, and no touchdowns. And get this, he stopped being a deep threat. And some of that might be on the quarterback. They haven't had the best quarterback play at Purdue. But you look at this guy's averages throughout his career. Even in the big year in 2018, he averaged 11 yards per reception in 2018. That's not good. I'm talking about guys averaging 20 yards a pop, 17, 18, 19. This guy averaged 11 yards per reception in 18 when he had that breakout year. In 19, he averaged 13 yards. Again, that's not a great number for a guy with his explosiveness and dynamic ability. And in 2020, the man averaged 7 yards a catch. 7 yards a catch? I can do that shit. I can average 7 yards a grab. That's bullshit. So his production the last 2 years, not up to par, not up to the standard that I'm looking for if I'm drafting a guy in the first round. I'm sorry. I can't overlook your injury history and your lack of production. And the two are tied at the hip. I can't overlook that. I'll take you in the second round in a heartbeat, but I won't take you in the first round. So I look at him, he's a second round pick. I can't spend a first round pick on Rondale Moore because I can't be assured that he's going to be able to stay healthy. I need my first round pick to be a guy I can rely on. I can't say that I can do that with Rondale Moore. My comp, this is where things get interesting. I look at him and I say he's one or two guys. And not from a size perspective, even though my comp, Tavon Austin, he is comparable in size to Austin. If you remember Tavon Austin coming into the NFL out of West Virginia, this guy was ridiculous. He was a human highlight reel. Go back and watch Tavon Austin at West Virginia and tell me you didn't think he was going to be the next big thing. We thought he was going to be Tyreek Hill before Tyreek Hill. That's what we thought Tavon Austin was going to be coming out of West Virginia, if you could remember that far back. It's like 8-9 years ago. He wasn't. You know, Tavon Austin wasn't that guy. But that's what Rondale Moore reminds me of right now, is Tavon Austin, a guy that has all this talent, has all this speed, all this quicks, could to break anybody off on the field that he wants, but can't stay healthy, never really gets extremely good at any one position, receiver, running back, none of them. He's just really solid at all of them, but not great at any of them. If he maximizes his talents, I think he could turn into Percival Harvin. Meaning he could be outstanding as a return man, which Percival Harvin was. A solid wide receiver, not great. Don't think he's got that in him. And a deadly guy that just touches it, jet sweeps, running back, wherever you want to put him. Just get it in his hands, he can make a play. He can turn into Percival Harvin. But for me right now, he's Tavon Austin. All this hype, all of this speed and athletic exploits and no substance. He's Tavon Austin. He's got to prove me wrong. Prove otherwise. I don't see it right now. Make me a believer. I can't live off of 2018. He's my number 9 wide receiver in the 2021 NFL draft.
Louie T Network.